Boelter Jones, Pro Football Hall of Famer, top 100.
Tyler Lockett from the Seattle Seahawks.
DK Metcalf from
Nate Burleson. You're watching NorbCam.
NorbCam.
You're watching NorbCam.
Hey, what's up, guys? This is NorbCam coming at you on Wednesday for our weekly discussion about Seahawks news and, of course, our next trivia contest. I want to start this off. As everybody knows, the last several days, particularly over the weekend, has been a very challenging one for our country. And I did make a post talking about that a little bit. I'm going to address this in a separate video. I've been trying to prepare what I'd like to say about it. And I've got my guests coming up here shortly. And I debated whether we should talk about this topic or not. And after some back and forth, I think we decided to keep it to football. I think this has all been pretty heavy for everybody. I will address it separately in my own a separate video. But for this, I want to keep things light. I think it's nice to have sometimes a distraction to get away from things a little bit. And just keep it to football. And, of course, we have our trivia that's coming up. I haven't done one in a little bit. This is Trivia Contest number 6. And I want to keep this fun and have you guys all be part of that. So we are going to do that after we discuss a few things regarding some developments in the NFL and the Seahawks. So I just wanted to touch on that a little bit, just kind of let you know where we stand, so you aren't wondering if we are going to talk about it or not. So we will not get heavy on that subject at this point in time. So, but we are going to keep it on the football, keep it a little bit on the lighter side. But I do appreciate you guys coming in here and watching and participating. Please feel free to put your comments in the chat. If you want to DM me, I'm going to try this. If you guys have, if you're on Instagram, you could send any questions. Just DM me, and I'll see if I can take a look at them as the show goes on. But we are going to talk a little football right now. And so let me bring on my weekly guests. I'm always happy to have on board here. Just give me a second to get them all ready. Here we go. So there we go. In the house, my usual cast of characters I'm joined every week by. Starting to over here to my left, I got Seahawks Martin, and then Calvin Domingo up there in the corner, and Noah Boelter. Gentlemen, I appreciate you guys, as always, coming on here, and I hope you guys are doing well. How's everybody doing today?
Feeling good, feeling blessed. Another beautiful day.
Pretty good.
Good.
Doing great.
All right. So, real quick, before we jump into a couple of these topics, I'd mentioned the George Kittle contract. Maybe talk a little bit about the Seahawks that we think is going to have a high impact next year in 2020. Let's do that. But real quick, I want to make sure everybody gets a chance for it. Those of you who are new to the show, just real quick, let's talk, introduce my guests here and where you can find them. Noah, why don't you get started? You and Calvin got your show together. Talk a little bit about what you guys do and where they can find you guys at.
So me and Calvin both do YouTube. I'll let him speak on that. But we also do a show every single Saturday on the radio. You can listen live from 10 to 1 on the KGRG app, or if you miss it, we also post all the podcasts on SoundCloud. You can listen to those on the link in the description.
Okay. And Calvin, want to add to that? Because I know you got your own YouTube channel as well.
Yes, sir. So as Noah mentioned, we both post YouTube videos, NBA, NFL, just kind of anything hot in the world of sports. Noah posts daily videos in the world of sports. Be sure to subscribe to him. He actually just dropped a video earlier today talking about, I think it was two new rule changes. Yeah, something like, I haven't even checked it out myself. So y'all make sure to check it out before I do. I post weekly videos every weekend. I try. And Noah and I, we actually dropped our second collab this past weekend, talking about LeBron James and the Los Angeles Lakers. So if that sounds interesting, be sure to click the links in our channels. Noah actually dropped a collab on his channel. We're talking about if Dak Prescott's worth $35 million or more, and whether or not Dallas will win the Super Bowl with him being paid at that number. So be sure to show us some love. And last but not least, NorbCam and Seahawks Martin, subscribe to my guys. Show them some love before you show us some love.
All right, and our youngest member of the panel, Seahawks Martin, who's only 12 years old, one of the most smartest Seahawks fans I know, especially pound for pound. The amount of knowledge you have for a number of years you've been alive is pretty impressive. Martin, talk a little bit about what you do on your channel.
Yeah, so My channel obviously is called Seahawks Martin. Right down there it says so. And I just talk sports, pretty much football all the time. But every once in a while, I'll just post a little basketball video. I played horse with my brother twice, and I got killed. So yeah, you guys can laugh at me there. But yeah, mostly football. Just give my insights, give you guys updates on what has been happening in the Seahawks football world. And so yeah, if you like that, then subscribe to me. But don't forget, before you subscribe to me, subscribe to Noah, Norb, and Calvin first. Oh my gosh. I forgot that Calvin was here. My dad, Calvin. But yeah, that's pretty much all I do.
All right, Martin. So so make sure you guys check out all those guys' channels. Their links are in the description. So let's get into this. And then for all of you, we will be doing our trivia. For those who are wondering, we will get to the trivia at the end after we discuss a few Seahawks-related news here, and I will give you the Kahoot number, the pin number to join that game when the time comes. So, but in the meantime, just be ready. So when we get to that point, you'll be ready to punch the number in. Excited to share this with you. Exciting trivia. Just to give you a heads up. Actually, I won't give you a heads up. You guys might start cheating if I tell you what it's about. So all you need to know is that Seahawks related. Okay, and I'll tell you what the topic or the range of Seahawks topics are they're going to be. Okay, so I talked about mentioned in the title George Kittle. The San Francisco 49ers and George Kittle, their all-star tight end, it's reported that they are far apart in their contract negotiations as he is up for a new contract. Of course, George Kittle, one of the key players in that very potent 49er offense. Will they land? He wants something that is probably not so much your typical tight end contract, but more of a George Kittle, I'm a special kind of dude contract. I want to kind of get these gentlemen's thoughts on the situation there. Will it happen? Where will it land in terms of money? Let's start with you, Martin. Give me your take on George Kittle, and what do you think is going to happen here in these contract negotiations? Obviously, we're all paying attention as Seahawks fans because George Kittle has definitely tore some things up when it comes to the entire NFC West. So he's going to be a key cog there. What do you think about the 49ers and George Kittle?
Yeah, you said that correctly, Norb. George Kittle's completely a monster that just pretty much dominates all NFC West tight ends. And in my opinion, he honestly is worth quite a lot. Just the way he plays, the way he fights. Obviously, he took three Saints players down with him and was still moving forward even when the guy grabbed his face mask. That's how good he is. Although, I mean, yeah, as much as I hate him just killing all of us, I feel like he does deserve his money. The 49ers really need him, and he's a top tight end, so I believe that he does deserve all that moolah. But yeah, I just hope that we can take him down in 2020 like KJ Wright did in that one game.
Noah, why don't you give me your thoughts? Well, where are we at? You're actually the one who brought this topic conversation when we discussed pregame what we talk about here. Give me your take on the George Kittle 49ers contract stalled negotiation situation.
Well, honestly, there's a lot to break down here. First of all, John Lynch has came out and said that they are going to keep George Kittle on the 49ers. So going based off that assumption, we know as well George Kittle is also going to reset the tight end market, and that his agent has been talking about the fact that he's not just a tight end. You look at his statistics from last year. First of all, over the past 2 years, he's had two straight years of at least 85 catches. Last year, he missed 2 games and still got to 85. 2 straight 1,000-yard seasons, 2 straight years with 5 touchdowns, and he's been vastly and just humorously underpaid this entire time, making $600,000 his first 2 years, and then this year he's set to make about just over $2 million. So he's really set to break the bank here. You look at where the mark is set for tight ends. The top tight ends in the NFL make about $10.5 million per season right now. He's going to blow that out of the water. The top wide receivers in the NFL, Julio Jones right now is set at $22 million per year. He's not going to get that high, but the ballpark that we're looking at is between 13, that's the lowest that he's going to take, and 17 million. That'll probably be the highest that he could get. Somewhere in that range. I'm looking at 3 to 5 years guaranteed, or a 3 to 5 year contract. And as well, I'm looking at about $22 million in guarantees, because tight ends average about $10 million for the top 5. They average about $10 million, whereas wide receivers, they're getting up. Julio Jones has $64 million guaranteed. Amari Cooper has $40 million guaranteed. So there are some bigger numbers there. He's going to fall somewhere in the middle, probably about $22 million guaranteed, so a year and a half, if you will.
So, Calvin, do you feel like if you're in line with what Noah is saying, any chance that they don't get this done, or they're going to, at all costs, they're going to get Kittle done no matter what?
Oh, there's no way. They kind of have to keep him in town, just because you got rid of a guy like DeForest Buckner, and you don't make those sacrifices if you aren't willing to pay the guys that you have in-house. And as Noah and Martin mentioned, George Kittle's arguably the best tight end in football. Not only is he the number one receiver for a team that lacks wide receiver talent, he's such a great impact in the run blocking scheme. He's the best run blocking tight end in football, if not the best receiving threat at tight end in football. And as George Kittle's agent said, he's not looking for a tight end type of contract. He's looking for a George Kittle type of contract. And I think I kind of fall right in line with what Noah's kind of projecting. I think he said, 13 to 17 million. I'm going to actually take it up a notch, and I'm going to project somewhere around a minimum of 16 million to a maximum of 18 to 19. I just think that when he says he wants to reset the market, he really wants to reset the market. George Kittle, Noah, you said it. He put up 85 receptions last year, over 1,000 yards, even though he missed 2 games. They traded for Emmanuel Sanders midseason, so they tried to integrate Sanders in the middle of the season. And he put up a tight end record of 1,377 receiving yards last season. And so I just think that he's the best player on the Niners. Not only on the offensive side of the football, I think he's the best player on their team in general. And it's going to show in what they're about to pay him. I'm thinking somewhere along the lines of maybe a 5-year contract, maybe up to $50 million guaranteed, maybe for a total value of 5 years, 70 to 75 million. Ooh. I just think he's that valuable to the football team. And the 49ers, they're going to be willing to pay him that much just because he's a very rare talent at tight end. He was a gem. They found him late in the 3rd, 4th round. And so now is really the time to kind of compensate him and to pay him for everything that he's done. I think they'll get something done. Right now they're kind of hammering out, contract terms and all that. Because right now Austin Hooper is currently at the top of the tight end market with about 11 million annually, and then 44 million total, about 25 million guaranteed. I just think that when Noah says he's going to blow it out of the water, he's really going to blow it out of the water.
I tend to agree with you there. George Kittle is a guy you can't let walk. And granted, he's probably going to ask for the moon, and they'll land somewhere in between. But yeah, he will definitely become the highest paid tight end in the NFL, and I think rightfully so. He definitely does more than what your typical tight end does. He's almost like a receiver, blocks better than most linemen do. And he's also a leader and one of those guys who really gets the team going when they need a spark. Unfortunately, he plays for the boys in red. So I'd like to hope that they wouldn't get it done and somehow he doesn't end up back in the 49ers. But I think no matter what, those guys have any sense that he's not going anywhere. So we'll keep an eye and see what they do in terms of the tight end market. But this could be a good thing for tight ends around the world thinking, if he resets the market, this could up things up for other tight ends who are looking for more money if they can perform like he does. Quick shout out to those in the super chat. Anthony D says, "Hope me and my family are being safe with all what's going on. Thank you." And where's my shirt, by the way? I did send it out, the 2 shirts for you and your brother, so look for it in the mail. It's probably coming today. I got to talk to you about my movie later. We'll try to find some time to talk about your short film. Just keep writing, man. Keep writing. It's all in the script. It's all in the script, baby. Giants fan also in the super chat. Thank you. And Devin Peterson also says, George will pull a Sherm and come to us. Well, that was a very different situation when Sherman left the Seahawks. Remember, Sherman didn't leave us. it was an unfortunate situation with Sherman with the injury, end of a very big contract with a very expensive final year. It was just more of a business move that it wasn't Sherman wanting to leave. He wanted to stay. Unfortunately, we couldn't get it worked out. And turns out he kind of negotiated a pretty good deal for himself for life after his stint here with the Seahawks, unfortunately. Again, with the team we never thought he'd ever end up with. But that's how it goes, so who knows? George Kittle may not be a 49er for life. He could be in some other color and maybe in some weird iteration down the line in a few years. Maybe he could even end up wearing a shade of blue. But let's talk about the boys in their shade of blue. There's a lot of speculation as to who's going to be the standout player next year for the Seahawks. Let's talk about on the offensive side of the ball. We were talking so much about George Kittle. Well, who's going to be the star that's going to really shine? Let's leave our obvious all-stars out of the equation. Outside of Russell Wilson and Bobby Wagner, which we know those guys are going to be leaders and obviously at the top of their game. Who else at this point, the offensive side of the ball, who's going to stand out and surprise us all? Martin, you start.
Oh my gosh, look at the chat. They're all just going, DK.
DK.
Yeah, I was thinking DK too. I have two people, and I would say DK and Disley. Tyler Lockett, I kind of want to add in there. But, I mean, I feel like he would be paired up with Russell and Bobby as, like, the all-stars, too. But, yeah, either DK or Disley. DK had a breakout season last year, rookie. He could have maybe had a shot at Rookie of the Year if he hadn't fumbled so much. But, yeah, 900 yards, really good for a rookie. And so I hope to see him get at least 1,000 this year. Obviously, Will Disley has too many injuries, and I sure hope that does not happen this year. Hopefully, he can at least get past week 7 for once, and then I'll be happy. But yeah, hopefully he can stay consistent, no more injuries, and I think if he does go with that, he will have a breakout season.
Calvin, what say you? Who's the offensive surprise star, or maybe not so much a surprise, but who do you think behind Wilson? Who's going to be the next big player for our Seahawks offense?
So I did want to say Disley or Metcalf, but just because you mentioned both of them, I'm going to steer in a different direction now. This one might surprise y'all, but I'm going to go with someone who's not currently on the team yet, but I truly believe he will join. Actually, he will come back to us, and that's Josh Gordon. Not to say that I think he will have a star impact for us. I just think that last season in limited action, he showed that he could be a very reliable receiver, especially on third down. And he wasn't even with the team for that long. I think that now that he's been in the system, I know technically he's not on the team, but he's been working out with guys like DK and Bobby, all those guys in practice. He's been in the Seattle area. He loves Seattle. He wants to come back. He did just apply for reinstatement. And I think that if it comes down to AB and Gordon, we're going to have to decide with one of them. And I think that because Gordon's more likely to play for us, I think we go with Gordon because, like I said, he's been on the team. He's been with the system. He likes the guys. He loves the city. He knows that this has to be his last chance. I know he's had so many of them. And I know we say this every single time, but there's something about Seattle with him just loving it. And I think that the culture, everything that we have around us, everything we have going for us, we're also a winner. Russell Wilson, best deep ball thrower in football. I just think that everything kind of works out in his favor. He comes back to the team. He's going to come into the season as a number 2 or number 3 receiver, but he kind of now overtakes DK, but he's probably going to overtake the tight ends on the receptions list, I feel like. And I kind of just predict him to kind of come in with a big splash. And so I'm going to go with Josh Gordon.
Oh, all right. Picking the guy who's not even on the team. We don't even know if he's going to be on the team, but that's a good reach. I'd love to see that come true. A lot of people in the chat also wanted to see Josh Gordon back. What do you think, Noah? Who do you got your money on?
Well, it's not as surprising as Calvin's, unfortunately, but I'm not going to go with DK because you guys both took him off the board. The chat took him off the board practically. Although I do think he has a 1,200-yard season, and I think he has 9 touchdowns with 80 catches next year, so I do think he gets a lot better. But the guy that I have as my alternative, because I knew you guys were going to say DK, the guy that we just signed, Carlos Hyde. I expect him to have about 900 all-purpose yards next season. I expect him to have 5 touchdowns on the ground and receiving. I think he has an instant impact in Seattle. I think the first 8 weeks of the season, however many we're going to be without Rashad Penny, I think he's going to have a huge run. I think he's going to have momentum. I think Chris Carson's coming off an injury, and we're going to start to wean away from him anyways next year because he's in a contract season. So we show him the other guys that we have in the locker room that are also fully available. So I think Carlos Hyde gets a lot of touches. And I think we use him very well situationally in games against teams that he might have played for in the past. So I think it'll be a lot of fun what Carlos Hyde brings to the table, and he's my surprise guy for this year.
I like it. I almost forgot about that because all these guys are guys who hadn't even put the uniform and really be able to see them yet. I'm going to go with a guy I've stood behind this whole time, despite many people losing faith in him, and that's some people in the chat have mentioned it. I'm going to go back to Chris Carson. Chris Carson, I've always said I love him as a running back for Seattle. Yeah, the injury thing has plagued his end of the season. He has had an issue with fumbles, particularly last year, with I think is high in fumbles for a season. But I feel like this is his prove it year. He's got to prove it not just to the Seahawks, but whoever that future team might be, playing for that future money contract to show that he can get this done. He won't get injured, and he's not going to cough up the ball. I think he really pairs up well with Hyde, but I think he really starts to show what he can do and last the whole season this time. And I think he's going to come in and really make a case for why he needs to stay on this team beyond the 2020 season, build on his numbers from last year. And I see this being, it'll be kind of a running back by committee, but I think Chris Carson is going to rise above the rest and be the guy who we all look at and go, wow, I knew it. I knew he could do it. So I'm going to say Chris Carson on the offensive side. My fingers are crossed because I love this guy, and I think he gets a lot more flack than he deserves. And so I hope he can prove me right this year. So let's go to the flip side of the ball. Let's go to the defensive side. Martin, I'll give you the chance to sort of steal everybody's thunder. And you tell me who you think is going to be, outside of Bobby Wagner, who's going to be the standout Seahawk player on defense.
I feel like you guys will criticize me here, but I am still sticking by Trey Flowers here. Okay? Second season, yes, he sucked. But hey, look, Shaquille Griffin also sucked in his second season. Look what happened. He made it to the Pro Bowl the next year. I feel like I'm expecting Trey Flowers to have the same type of season that Shaquille Griffin had in his third year. You guys are probably going to be like, oh, he blew our games. But once again, he has some good games too, guys. Don't be so, what do you say? Don't be so skeptical about Trey Flowers right now. I'm going to stand by his side. I'm going to stand by his side until if he goes, then I guess that's when I'll hop off. But I'm just going to stick with Trey Flowers here. I'm standing by his side. As much as people doubt him, I still believe that he has a chance to be a star corner, and I sure hope that happens this year.
All right. Martin still believes. So, Flowers, you got at least one person in your corner, because I see people just calling him trash and all kinds of 3- and 4-letter words over there. So we'll see. I hope you're right, because at this point, he may be our only hope at right corner, depending on what happens with the whole Dunbar case. Isn't that weird how the world has changed so much in the last several days? That Dunbar story was the biggest news, right? And now all of a sudden it seems like that was with what has become at the forefront of everybody's at the forefront of everything right now. That just seems like such a small story now compared to what has been going on in the world. But that's a separate subject we'll talk about at another time. But Calvin, how about you? What's your defensive player standout in 2020?
Well, I'm going to go with the guy that we acquired at the trade deadline last season for the measly cost of a 5th-round pick. The guy that the Detroit Lions gave up on, safety Quandre Diggs. I believe that he'll be the new enforcer in our secondary. In limited time last season, you could feel the impact that he had on our defense. He was a ball hawk. He was a hard hitter. He was literally the new enforcer of a new, new LOB. that might be kind of a stretch to say, but I think that he'll be the captain of the secondary next season. He kind of has everything that you look for in a safety. Like I said, he's a hard hitter. He's very rangy. He's fast. He's quick to the ball. He flies to the football. He's a leader on that end. I feel like guys look to him for leadership, and he's a ball hawk. He's attacking the ball. You could feel the impact that he had for us. It was almost as if our defense went through some sort of a turnaround as soon as he came in. Our performances were a lot better, and in some of the games that he missed, I think he missed a game or two. We felt his absence, even though he was such a new member of the team. When he was here, we felt his presence. When he was gone, we felt his absence. And I think that next season, with the full offseason under his belt, with the full offseason of learning the system, being able to establish that much needed chemistry with the rest of the guys. Now guys know him. Now there's familiarity with everything. I just think that all that comes together, and he'll be our best safety since Earl Thomas and Cam Chancellor.
Nice. I think we all loved the addition of Quandre Diggs. The guy did make some pretty nice monster Cam Chancellor type hits. And I'm excited to see what he can do in this second year with the Seahawks. Noah, what about you? I'm curious to see. Are you going to surprise us or go with something more conventional on the defensive side of the ball?
Well, Diggs was going to be my my safety option if you guys took my first one, but you didn't take my first one. Because he was taken into custody a couple of weeks ago. And that's Quinton Dunbar. If Quinton Dunbar's on the field, he is my instant impact in Seattle. He played 11 games last year, had 4 picks, 8 passes defensed, and 37 tackles. Get this. Of those 37 tackles, 31 of them were solo. So he doesn't need any help out there. You can put him on an island, and he's going to do his thing, unlike Trey Flowers. But that's another topic for a different day. Quinton Dunbar, I think he's going to have 7 interceptions if he plays a full 16 games. I think he gets just shy of 50 touchdowns with 48, and I think he defends 19 passes. I think he is the impact starter for Seattle because of the fact that he has great anticipation. He has great hands. With those 4 interceptions he had last year, he dropped a bunch. So I think he's a guy that can come into Seattle and have an instant impact, especially if he's proven innocent of the charges.
Well, and time will tell on that one. It's what makes it so sad to think that if this case does mess up his NFL career, it's sad to think what could be the projections you're throwing out there. How amazing of an impact that would be for Seattle if he could actually make it onto the field in a Seattle uniform, and if he doesn't, what could be left? The potential that could have been there is very unfortunate if it never gets to be. For me, I'm going to go with probably a name that you guys wouldn't have thought of, but I'm going to go defensive line, and I'm going to say, no, it's not Jadeveon Clowney. No, it's not Jaron Reed. No, it's not somebody we haven't picked up who everybody thinks we're going to pick up. I'm going to go with our sack leader from last year, Rasheem Green. Rasheem Green quietly became the sack leader, and I didn't even really notice it until we started doing these trivia contests. They started pulling up the numbers. I started looking at this guy going, this guy's been solid. He's quietly been solid. Yeah, he doesn't have the media coverage that a Jadeveon Clowney gets, but he's been just steadily on the rise, quietly doing his job. And I think next year he's going to break out and I think surprise a lot of people. And yeah, there's a lot to be determined whether we pick up some of these big edge rushers from other teams, whether Clowney comes back. But we know for sure that Rasheem Green is going to be in a Seahawks uniform, and I think he's going to tear it up. I think he's going to step up to the next level, and he'll be fighting for that sack leading number again. Now, again, if we get all the guys we want, Griffin, Clowney, and all these guys who are dreaming to get, maybe that might change. But for right now, I only know one thing for sure, and that is Rasheem Green is the one guy we know will be rushing the passer with everything else still to be determined. So at this point in time, I'm going to say Rasheem Green is going to come out there and he's going to sack the quarterback and do some great things for us in 2020. All right. So we'll see. It's fun to speculate because, we could be way off, but that's our prerogative to be way off because, hey, it's all just predictions and that's our choice. So you guys ready to do some trivia?
Let's get to it.
All right. So as you guys know, you guys have been waiting patiently. I know that's what you're here for. You want to get to the trivia contest. Last time we did this, it was Russ Underrated who won. His name's Kyle. Kyle was supposed to join the show. Unfortunately, we couldn't get it to work out on the schedule, so I'll get him on another show. But if you guys, whoever wins the contest, will have the opportunity to co-host the show like these gentlemen here are doing. So if you guys are ready, let's do this thing. Let's get this show going. It's trivia time. Trivia number 6. Here we go. All right, get your trivia devices ready. We're going to pull up the number right here, and here we go. All right, there's the number, 444-8818. 444-8818. So go get your numbers plugged in. We got LML in the house. Norb is cute. Yes, thank you very much. That dude. We're going to get about 60 people, maybe a little bit more, supposedly. Norb is the best. I love these names. Seahawks for life. That guy, Shanoy, Diego, Michael Mullins, Ian Ungers, G-Man, Fat Kid, Seagal, TJ Wilborn, and Chrysostomo. Oh, Chrysostomo. Martin, are you playing games?
Not me.
Oh, it's a different guy. A different guy impersonating me. I'm so popular, everybody wants to be me. Be like Chrysostomo. NorbCam Jr. Oh, I didn't know there was a NorbCam Jr. Is there something I don't know about out there? Ace Pulls, Aaron Rodgers. We have 39 players. We're going to try to get to 50 here. 39, 40, 42. Trubisky for MVP. Yeah, right. Lockett, Seattle. Aaron Rodgers, A-Rod in the house to play some Seahawks trivia with us here. We got Emmett. 43. Do we get to 50? Hopefully. And Nicky Joe, we got to 44. As soon as we get to 50, we will start the game. 30 more seconds to get a few more players in here. Seahawks trivia. And just to give you a little hint, we are going to be talking about questions from the Russell Wilson era. Now, upon request, I was told in the chat, can you do more recent Seahawks stuff? So I said, okay, we will stay with the more recent, Russell Wilson. That means 2012 to present. There's always that swirly circle, which means bad internet connection. That's always a good thing. Come on, Comcast! Come on, Comcast, don't do this to me! We're at 44 players at the moment. That's nice. Nothing like a good old swirling circle to mess up your Kahoot game. Lockett, Seattle, Emmett are at 43 right now. Let's see. Dare I refresh this and see what happens? I'm a little scared.
Sketchy.
Ooh, if I refresh this, will I lose everybody? I don't know if that's what's going to happen. Or you can just hit start and see what happens. Well, we might just have to roll with who we have. Let's go with it. Oh. I think we're back on. 45. Okay. All right. Oh, I think it's just the video playing behind that's a little laggy right now. 45. We'll give it 10 more seconds. We're close to 50. Close enough. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. That's a good time to have that go. All right, so here we go. I got to get my notepad so I can make sure that my distinguished panel here has the right score. Since you guys are really bad at keeping track of scores, hold on, I got to grab my pen over here. This is really high tech stuff. Okay, here we go. Let's start this game. Here we go.
Turns back. Give to Penny.
And Seahawks trivia number 6. Question number 1. Which receiver caught Wilson's first ever regular season touchdown? Was it Sidney Rice, Golden Tate, Ben Obomanu, or Jermaine Kearse? Who caught Russell Wilson's first ever regular season touchdown? Sidney Rice, Golden Tate, Ben Obomanu, or Jermaine Kearse? Rice, Tate, Obomanu, Kearse. Time is up. Ooh, look at that. You two on fire right now. 27 of you guys that got that one correct. How about our panel? Let's see how the boys did. Starting with you, Martin. What'd you got?
Sidney Rice. I actually kind of guessed on this one.
Oh, but you got it, huh?
It was down to Obamanu or Sidney Rice. But I remember Sidney Rice being much better in 2012 or something.
Yeah, he did have a very good season in 2012. Calvin.
So Rice was very good for us, but he never stayed healthy. And so because it came down to me guessing, I wanted to go with the guy who was, actually showing up for games. So I went with Jermaine Kearse.
Oh, the curse of the curse. Noah, how about you? Did you get this one right?
I did. I actually watched the highlights from that game like a week ago, and just how signature it was that Russell Wilson began his career of throwing touchdown passes on a scramble play where he had to throw above the linebacker and beneath the safety. He found Rice in that perfect pocket. It was a beautiful play.
So you got that one right.
Yeah.
All right. So, unfortunately we lost that game, but it was the start of many touchdowns to come. Let's see how the leaderboard works out after this first one. We've got Roble in first. Norb is cute. Oh, thank you very much. Second. M. Temple in third. Garrett in fourth. And that dude in fifth. Let's go to the next question. The Hawks had their highest point total against which team? Was it the Buffalo Bills, the Pittsburgh Steelers, the Denver Broncos, or the Arizona Cardinals? Which team did they have the highest point total against? The Bills, Steelers, Broncos, or Cardinals? You have 5 seconds. Bills, Steelers, Broncos, Cardinals. Time is up. Look at that! YouTube on fire again! Gets 31, even better than the first question. All right, these are easy so far, but were they easy for our panel? Martin.
Yeah, Norb, you were wrong about the easy part. It was too easy. We scored 58 points against the Cardinals. I remember that one.
All right, Martin gets the one. Let's go to Calvin. Did you get this one right?
Yes, sir. 1-1. I do remember that game at home where we just throttled the Cardinals. A game I'll never forget.
Noah.
I remember it.
Yes, that's what right. It's hard to forget a game like that. Let's see how the board shakes up. Roble stays in first. Rusak Pixon goes to second. That dude moves up to third. Garrett in fourth. And Chrysostoma slides into the fifth spot. Let's go to the next question. Let's see if what we got here. Here we go. Question number 3. What's the highest number of yards Wilson has thrown for in a single game? Was it 406, 452, 477, or 507? Wilson, highest yards in one game. 406, 452, 477, or 507? 3 seconds. If you guessed 452, like most of the YouTubers out there said, you are correct. Let's go to our panel, and I'm trying to see. Is my connection stalling here a bit? I'm seeing like a circular spinning thing. Doggone it. Comcast, don't fail me now. Hold on, just making sure we still have an internet connection here. You guys are still there, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. Are you guys following along with the YouTube stream by any chance?
Yeah.
Is it still broadcasting on your side, Martin?
Yep.
Okay. All right. Well, mine is not, which is crazy. But let's go to the thing. Martin, what did you guess?
I just guess what's the most I don't know, how do I say it? Most relatable. I just went with 452 as a guess, and I still got it right.
Wow, been lucky guess today. How about you? What do you think? What'd you get, Cal?
Oh, my bad. I got this one right. I just remember seeing the stat line. I think it was against the Rams a while ago. Russ had a career day. He had over 400 passing yards, 100 rushing yards, and I just so happened to remember the amount of passing yards it was, so 452.
Well, you got the right number. Not the correct game, though. Let's see if Noah remembers this one. Did you get this one, Noah?
No. I guess 500, man. I believe.
All right. Well, just for your guys' information, the game he got the 452 yards against was that shootout against the Texans. few seasons back. That game where he finally scored the winning touchdown, throwing it to Jimmy Graham to take the final lead in that back and forth game. But yes, that was 452 yards. Russell Wilson actually has not broken the 500 mark yet. So we're still waiting for that. All right, let's go see the leaderboard and see who's on top right now. Robo staying strong at number 1, but lots of shifts done in below. We got Crisostomo, second place. Garrett moves to 3rd. Ian Unger is up to 4th, and yo boy Alex at 5th. Let's go to the next question. Here we go. What's the longest touchdown pass Wilson has thrown? Was it 80 yards, 83 yards, 87 yards, or 94 yards? Longest pass thrown by Wilson. 80, 83, 87, or 94 yards? You've got 5 seconds. 80, 83, 87, or 94. If you said 80, which most of you didn't, you would be correct. YouTube, way off on this one. Only 6 guessing this one right. Let's see what our panel had to say. Martin.
I think the 80-yard touchdown was the one at Golden Tate against the Rams one, right? 2013, where like he did the taunting, like the bye-bye.
Yeah, oh, it's a good memory. Oh my goodness, you got that one right. So Martin gets his score up to 4. Calvin?
I got this one wrong. I said 94 just because I was trying to hype him up a little too much, I guess.
You did what Noah did on the passing yardage one. Noah, where did you guess on this one?
You know, I remembered the right play. I knew it was a Golden Tate play, but I remembered it being a little bit longer. So I said 87.
Oh. Well, what's interesting, so Martin, you definitely called the right play, but believe it or not, Wilson has done this. He did this 3 times. He's thrown a 80-yard touchdown pass 3 times. The first one was the Rams, and then he threw one to tight end Wilson in 2014 against the Cardinals, and then to Baldwin to beat the Steelers in 2015. Remember that game? The other shootout game.
Oh, that one.
So he's actually done it 3 times. 3 times for 80-yard touchdowns. Pretty impressive. All right, let's go to the leaderboard and let's see who's on top. Robles, commanding lead at 4,000. Fat Kid moves up to 2nd. Crisostomo, drops to 3rd place. Boo-hoo-hoo. Garrett at 4th, and Ian Ongers at 5th. Let's go to the next question. Question 5. What are the most interceptions Wilson's thrown in one game? Was it 4, 5, 6, or 7? Most interceptions by Wilson in one game. 4, 5, 6, or 7?
The pick hurt, Norb.
4, I know. It pained me to put that up there, but we must be reminded of the brutal past sometimes. Time is up. Oh, yeah, most of you guys got this correct, at least on YouTube. 28 of you got this correct, saying it was 5. Wilson's career high for interceptions in one game. Martin.
Oh, I thought it was 4. Because I think it was the NFC Championship game. That's the only one. That's the one that sticks out in my memory. Him throwing curse 4 times, 4 times picked off, 4 times Norb started cussing. Yeah.
A rare miss by Martin. Calvin, what did you get?
Man, actually, another rare miss for me. I said 4.
You said 4 as well?
I said 4. Same exact reason as Barnes. I look back to the Green Bay Packers game.
Noah, did you do better than the other 2 guys here?
I'm on a losing streak, Norb. I said 4 too.
Oh, man. Well, believe it or not, the game where he threw 5 interceptions was against the same team, against the Packers, in that really terrible game where we got blown out badly in Lambeau. I want to say, was that 2016, I think? I think it was 2016 where that horrible game, we had gone for such a long stretch where the Seattle hadn't gotten blown out in like more than 10 points for how many seasons, and then that game kind of ended it. So, yeah, that was an ugly game. The reason you don't remember is because you decided to forget about it because, nobody wants to remember that game. Let's see what happened to the leaderboard here. A lot of correct answers on the YouTube side. Smarter than our panel on this one. Here we go. Roble is flying strong, 5,000 plus points. Fat Kid in second. Garrett moves up to third. Ian Ongers at fourth. And Andrew P., new entry in the leaderboard, moves to fifth. Up 12 places also. Seagal is climbing high behind the scenes. Let's go to the next question right here. Number 6. Which LOB member had the most solo tackles in a season? Was it Richard Sherman, Cam Chancellor, Earl Thomas, or Brandon Browner? Most solo tackles in one season. Sherman, Chancellor, Thomas, or Browner? You have 5 seconds. Sherman, Chancellor, Thomas, Browner. Most solo tackles. Time is up. Ooh, and a close one. 19 of you on YouTube got the right answer. If you said Earl Thomas, yes, Earl Thomas had the most tackles in a single season. Let's go to the panel. Martin.
Earl the Squirrel.
Earl Thomas back there, free safety. What'd you get, Cal?
Man, I thought it was a guy who actually plays more in the box. I went with Bam Bam.
I would have probably, if I was doing this trivia on your side, I probably would have said the same thing. But no, it was Earl by a hair. Noah.
You know, I almost thought it was a trick because solo tackles and combined tackles. I was thinking safeties probably get more combined tackles. I almost went with Sherman because of that, but I did go with Earl.
Oh, you got one finally. Okay. So yeah,
another rare correct answer.
And that was the LOB question there. Yes, it was Earl Thomas had 78 and Cam had 75 in terms of high in a season. So really close, Bam Bam. Probably if you were to go to the most hardest hits of those tackles, you got to give it to Cam in terms of velocity and impact. But yes, it was Earl Thomas, free safety back there with the most solo tackles. Let's see what the scoreboard looks like now. Roble on fire has the highest answer streak of 6 right now with 6,500. Ian Ongers moves up to second. Andrew P. moves to third. My name is Adam in the board at 4th place. And Fat Kid drops to 5. Let's go to the next go. By the way, just to update with our panel, Martin at 5, Noah at second with 3, and Calvin surprisingly bringing up the rear with 2 points. Let's go to the next question right here. Here we go. Number 7. How many times has Wilson thrown 5 touchdowns in a single game? 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, or 6 times? How many times has Wilson thrown 5 touchdowns in one game? Was it 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, or 6 times? 5 touchdowns in a single game by Russell Wilson. And your time is up. Oh, good chunk of you guys got this. If you guessed that it was 4, you would be correct. Russell Wilson has thrown 4 games where he had 5 touchdowns. Pretty impressive, again, when you look at the stats. To the panel, Martin, you dropped your head. Does not look like a good sign for you.
I tried to go with Noah's strategy. When in doubt, choose C, but it did not work.
That's right.
Don't blame it on me. Don't blame me.
Calvin, what did you get?
Well, I thought 6 was a little too high. I thought 3 was a little too low. So I said, why not? And you guys always say when in doubt, choose C. When I'm in doubt, I don't choose C. So I went with B, and I said 4.
Hey, got one. All right. Calvin ups his score by 1. Avoids the Noah strategy smartly, unlike his compadre, Martin, who fell into the trap. Noah, did you fall into your own trap on this one, or did you get this right?
Hey, man, so I was trying to remember every game where it happens. I was like, Minnesota, Pittsburgh. Was Houston one of those games? Was it against Houston? Was that a 5? I don't know, but I was like, it's either 3 or 4. And I chose 4.
Oh, so you got it. All right. Noah gets a point on the board as well. Just so for your FYI, the number of times Russell Wilson did those 4 throws, the teams he did it against were the Bills in 2012, the Steelers and the Ravens in 2015, and then most recently, the Buccaneers in 2019.
What about the Vikings? We didn't get 5 against the Vikings?
Not according to my numbers. Not according to my stats. I'll have to double check that, but I'm pretty sure unless I missed something. But we'll fact check that later.
That would make us wrong, so please.
That would make me right.
All right, let's go to the scoreboard to see where we are with the YouTube followers here. Man, Robo is just on fire, just blowing away the competition. Over 7,000, nearly 8,000 points. Ian Ongers at second, Andrew P. in third. My name is Adam, holding strong at fourth, and Russak Pixon moves into the 5 spot with 4,099 points. Let's go to the next question. Besides Jermaine Ifedi, which Seahawk committed the most penalties in a season? Was it Bruno Giacomini, Michael Bennett, Jadeveon Clowney, or Russell Wilson? Most penalties in the season besides Ifedi. Was it Giacomini, Bennett, Clowney, or Wilson? Most penalties in one season. Giacomini, Bennett, Clowney, or Wilson? Oh, this was a pretty easy softball toss. Yes, the king of the offsides lining up in the neutral zone, Michael Bennett. 37 of you got this right. Overwhelming decision on this one. Let's see if the panel followed suit. Martin.
I went with Giacomini because I remember him being probably like our worst O-lineman there. I remember my dad always screaming, "Why are you doing that, Giacomini?" So I decided to go with what my dad was not happy about, so I decided to go with Bruno Giacomini. I had it down to Giacomini and Bennett, but I feel like I knew how much Bennett offsides. Technically, we could have a chance at still winning Super Bowl 49 if he hadn't made that offside. So, but I went with Giacomini, considering that he did a lot of, I think, holding and false starts, I believe.
I like Giacomini, though. That guy he had one of those guys with attitude. I was sad when he was gone. Yeah, he caused a lot of issues, but he did push some guys around. I like that about him. Cal, what do you say?
Once again, I'm with Martin. I said Giacomini.
Oh, man, the reputation was the memory you had more than the stats themselves. What about you, Noah?
Well, I thought like it could be a curveball and it'd be Russell Wilson because of the fact that he always has the ball. But I was like, no. Michael Bennett is a guy who, like, I just heard like today somebody talking about how Ifedi's gone and he was the only guy that averaged more penalties than Bennett, and so I went Bennett.
Oh, so you got a lucky little stat floated your way and got you up there. So now your scores, we got into the panel. Martin and Noah tied with 5 points apiece, and Calvin just slightly behind him with 3. We'll check the scoreboard in a second, but just FYI, as far as the penalties, I was kind of surprised at this. The penalty leaders, it was Ifedi with 16, Bennett with 14, Giacomini and Clowney actually tied for 12 in a season, and Russell Wilson with 11. I was shocked. You never think about the quarterback being a highest penalized guy because he's generally the guy who never gets touched, but you got to remember intentional groundings, delay of games. He gets the penalty on that, so it was actually higher than I expected, but smart of you not to fall for the trap. Let's go to the scoreboard, see where YouTube stands here. Any change in the score? Let's find out. Nope, Robo dominating far and away the leader. Ian Ongers in second. Andrew P. close behind in third. My name is Adam, holding there in fourth. And me pops into the list in the 5th spot, trying to get onto the podium. Let's go to the next question. Question number 9. Against which team did the 12s break the world record for noisiest crowd for the 2nd time? Was it against the Saints? Was it against the Niners? Was it against the Cardinals? Or the Packers, when we broke the record for noisiest crowd the 2nd time? Saints, 49ers, Cardinals, or Packers? You got 3 seconds. Saints, Niners, Cardinals, Packers. If you guessed the Saints, you would be correct. 12 of you on the YouTube side got that one correct. 19 of you guessed it was the 49ers. Both good choices, but let's see what the panel had to say. Martin.
Both of them actually in the same season. The Niners week 2, but then the 12s broke it again in week 13 or something, Monday night. Yep. And that is why the 12s are one of the best fan bases in all of sports.
Martin, sometimes you just blow me away with your encyclopedia knowledge, and then sometimes you shock me with missing something really obvious. But you were good that time. You were real good. Calvin, what say you?
I went with the Saints because I do remember that one Monday Night Football game. It was actually on my birthday, and so that was a game I couldn't forget.
Oh, yeah. Nothing like a birthday Seahawks win and a world record shattering all in one. kind of hard to forget that one. Noah, did you remember this game?
I remembered it because I went to it with my stepbrother, or with my brother-in-law, excuse me, and it was just, I couldn't remember, though. I was thinking to myself, I'm like, was it the second game that we did it? And I'm like, I think the Niners was the first one, but I'm like, bro, who am I to not go with the game that I went to? So I was going to go with the Saints regardless, and it just happened to be right.
All right, so you and Martin step for step getting 6 points here, and Calvin with 4, holding steady. Yeah, that game, that was a fantastic game, and I remember, well, probably like most of you guys, we didn't even know we broke the record until later on they announced that we did, because it wasn't like anybody set up the fact that we were doing it. We just knew it was happening, but it just organically happened when, in the midst of that crazy, exciting primetime game. Let's go to the scoreboard, see where we're at here. Roble tearing it up. I don't know how he's doing it. Killing it with 10,485 points. But then a little shifting here. Rusak Pixon moves to second. Ian Onger's holding it third. Your boy Alex slides to the 4th spot. And Andrew P. moves in to the 5th position. And now things get interesting as we start to go into the double jeopardy, double point value games, both for the panel and for the audience. So a chance to catch up here and move to the podium level. Here we go with the first of the double value questions right now. Question number 10. Worth double. Who is the lowest drafted Seahawk to become a starter? J.R. Sweezy, Greg Scruggs, David Moore, or Chris Carson? The lowest drafted Seahawk to become a starter. J.R. Sweezy, Greg Scruggs, David Moore, or Chris Carson? The lowest drafted Seahawk to become a starter. Sweezy, Scruggs, Moore, or Carson? Easy one. Too easy. Oh, man. Most of you got this right. 32 of you guys got it for Carson. I thought I'd give you some points to grab here. Well, let's see if the panel got this one right. Martin.
Just to point out to the people in the chat, I am not cheating. Cheating sucks. I hate cheating. But yeah, I got Chris Carson. I remember he was like super close to being the last pick in the draft.
2017. Calvin.
So you look at all these guys. I think Josh Sweezy was drafted in the 5th round. Greg Scruggs, honestly, don't know who that is. David Moore, I forgot where he was drafted. And so I'm going to go with the guy that I know was drafted in the 7th round, and that was Chris Carson.
All right. Noah, I expect you probably got this one right. Tell me that you proved me right.
David Moore was also in the 7th round, right?
He was. He was very close.
No, why you gotta set me up for failure, man? First of all, Calvin, J.R. Sweezy was drafted in the 7th round, and so I went with, it ain't easy being Sweezy. But
oh, no.
let me double check, because I'm pretty sure he was drafted in the 7th round. But
I think you're right.
I went with J.R. Sweezy.
I think, man, it wasn't the 7th round. Yeah.
You're actually correct. I actually, so what it was it was close. David Moore was drafted 226. J.R. Sweezy was drafted 225. And, of course, Chris Carson was 249. So David Moore would have been the next closest in that same year, as you pointed out, Martin. Greg Scruggs actually was he was a tight end, since you don't remember, Calvin. Number 232. So he would have been the second most, but he never started a game. So that was the trick. Chris Carson, I was kind of subconsciously hinting at it. The fact that I was blowing up Chris Carson, talking about he's my boy. He's gonna turn up this year in 2020. But let's see what happens with the scoreboard after the double point question. Here we go. Roble safely in top with over 12,000 points. Rusak Pixon at second. Your boy Alex on fire with 3 in a row moves to third. Ian Augers drops to 4th, and Andrew P. moves to the 5 spot. Let's go to our question number 11. These get a little more personal now. You're gonna have to know a little something about me to get these double points, and it may be entirely luck. Here we go for double points.
Oh.
What high school did I graduate from? Was it Kentwood High School, Kent Meridian, Kent Ridge, or Kent Lake? If you don't know, you got a 1 in 4 chance of guessing. Kentwood, Kent Meridian, Kent Ridge, or Kent Lake? Hint, it wasn't Kent. Kentwood, Kent Meridian, Kent Ridge, or Kent Lake? Oh my goodness. Everyone.
I'm sure I know this.
I threw that one. I don't know if at some point in my channel I would have mentioned what school I went to, but I can't even say when it happened. So this is kind of unfair because I threw this out there. But some of you who would have known, well, obviously didn't know because most of you got this one wrong. I went to Kent Meridian High School. Let's see if our panel was Lady Luck was on their side. Martin, did you happen to know this one? Because you know some of the most obscure things I've ever heard.
No. Unfortunately not. I thought it was Kent Ridge for two reasons. Because I was in doubt and I decided I'd go with C, home to another Noah trap. Then second of all, because I'm pretty sure you showed those volleyball videos of your daughter, and I'm pretty sure it said Kent Ridge on there. So yeah.
That actually is a very educated guess, and you were right. My daughter does go to Kent Ridge. However, where I grew up, we lived in different borders. So technically, Kent Ridge was the closest school that I should have gone to because the way they drew the borders up, I ended up going to Kent Meridian, which was like twice as far. So you had made definitely the closest guess, but unfortunately, you guessed wrong. Calvin, did you get lucky on this one?
Yes. So Noah actually kind of saved me. I went to KR, and I know that your daughter also goes to KR. So I was going to say KR, but I know that Noah went to KM, and he started doing something with his hands or something with his head. I just saw him kind of make a sign. So I was just like, you know what, let me just go with KM. And so I got lucky.
Oh, nice. So wait a minute. Noah, you tipped off Calvin on this answer? Was that on purpose or by subconsciously giving a tell? Did you give a tell away on this one, Noah?
Subconscious.
Hey man, if he can read me like that, man, credit to him, man. But yeah, I got Kent Meridian as well because Norb, when we first, I think it was the first time you were on the show, we were talking, and I told you that I graduated from KM. You're like, oh really? And I was like, yeah, why? And okay. you were like, oh yeah, because I graduated from KM. I said, what? And we were like, yeah.
Well, you and only 4 other people in the show knew that. So you're one of the rare few, had a very special conversation that allowed you to get the right answer. But you also tipped off your buddy Cal, giving him a chance to stay in the hunt. So as it stands right now, with one question to go, Martin and Nora tied at 7 apiece with Calvin at 6. Oh, actually, take that back. You guys both got double numbers. So that actually makes it 8, 8, and 7. 8 and 7. So this will double points. So this will decide it all right here. Okay, so here we go. Let's
look at me.
Let's see what happens at the scoreboard with one question to go. No surprise, Roble, clear leader. No one's going to catch him no matter what we do here. But Garrett moves up to the 2nd spot. Russak Pixon in 3rd. Your boy Alex in 4th. And Ian Ongers in 5th. Okay, final question. Again, this is a NorbCam-centric question. Let's see how well you've been paying attention. Here we go. What anniversary year did my wife and I celebrate on Monday? Was it our 10th, 13th, 15th, or 18th anniversary? 10th anniversary, 13th, 15th, or 18th that my wife celebrated just a few days ago. 10, 13, 15, or 18. If you saw my videos the last couple days, you'd know this. And wow, majority of you guys did know this. 25 of you got this correct. Very educated, very smart, observant group out there. Let's see if the panel was paying just as close attention. We were talking about this earlier. Martin, for 2 points here.
I was literally there for the premiere, and I watched the entire thing, the whole original song Norb sang, the weird Chrysostomo face as he took Norb's wife for some reason. And yeah, so I knew it was 18.
All right, that puts you at an even 20. Calvin.
Like you said, Norb, we had that conversation earlier today, and I did watch the video as well, and so that's how I got it right. 18.
All right, Noah.
You know, Norb, you're really a great friend of mine, and I gotta be honest here. I got the number wrong. In my head, I was like, oh yeah, this is easy. It was 19 years. But that wasn't an option, so I said 18 and got it right.
Oh, good for you, man. All right, well, this is probably the most even game we've ever had. So that results in a tie between Noah and Martin, and Calvin with just one shy of that, 1 point behind, but pretty much an even game. Pretty impressive. Let's go see. Actually, this is going to be the podium announcement right here. But I just wanted to say while I got this moment, just to say again, happy anniversary to my wife Jen. 18 years. It's hard to believe that this many years have gone by. So much. We've been through the worst of times and the best of times together. And the great thing is we're still together, going strong here. So I love you very much. Don't know if you're watching this, probably not, because you're probably doing something with kids. But thank you guys for remembering that I said that. The fact that 25 of you guys at YouTube actually got this right is I didn't expect that. I'm touched. All right, let's see who's going to get to be on the show. Actually, I already know who's going to be on the show. The leader is quite obvious, but let's see who finished at second and third place. Here we go. In third place in the NorbCam Seahawks Trivia Contest number 6 with 7886 is your boy Alex. In second place with 8482 is Russack Pixon. And in first place with a dominating performance, Robo. Congratulations. Runner-ups are Garrett and Andrew P. Thank you guys for participating in this. It was a lot of fun. And there we go. So Robo, take a picture, take a screenshot of that of that win. I want to see if just as a little, that way we know for sure that was you. And email me at norb@norbcam.com, and we'll get set up for you to make an appearance on a future NorbCam episode to help to co-host the show. Just curious, guys, what was the trickiest, most surprising question, I guess, that we had today? Starting with you, Martin.
High school.
Well, that wasn't even, I guess it was trickiest. I was thinking more like, which was the one that you were surprised to learn the answer of? Mostly from the Seahawks side.
Pretty sure it was the Green Bay Packers, the picks, how many picks.
Oh, the 4 interceptions versus the 5?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep, a lot of people fell for that one. How about you, Cal?
I would just say the one that I just had like no idea on, the first one. Who was his first touchdown pass to?
Yeah, it's funny, huh? It's funny how that first one you think would be really memorable because it's the first touchdown he'd ever thrown, but I had to think back too. I had to look it up. It's like I don't really remember, and then you see it, Sidney Rice. It's like, well, of course he did. He had a great season in 2012. Had a lot of the game-ending catches in 2012. You remember the You Mad Bro game where he caught that touchdown pass in the deep south end of the end zone. His pants got pulled down, his butt crack showing. He pulled that ball down, and then he caught that game to win in the overtime in that Chicago Bears game that sort of became the turning point, I think, for Wilson. So Sidney Rice really key in that first one. And he caught the first one by Russell Wilson. It was pretty cool. Noah, how about you? Which was the surprise question of this contest?
Probably the picks one, too. It's crazy to think about, though, how the Sidney Rice question, like the first touchdown of Russell Wilson's career was really the difference in this game with Calvin. Poor Calvin.
That was the difference. He would have, if you'd gotten that, you might have, well, depending, you could have tied it or maybe even won this game. But either way, it was a good competition. Again, we will contact me, Robel, and email me so we can get you on the show, and it'll be fun to find out who you are and what this is all about. And somebody said we want Chrysostom. You want me? You got me. What do you want? Here I am. We want Kittle. We want Kittle.
We're waiting for another episode of Chrysostomo's Corner, Chrysostomo. So,
as soon as the quarantine's over, you'll get it, okay? It's coming. It's coming. Okay. Well, anyway, thank you guys for joining this another weekly episode with my guests and Trivia Contest number 6. Let's get it real quick to thank you to my guests, Seahawks Martin, Calvin Domingo, and Noah Boelter one more time before the guys sign off. Tell the audience, for those of them who don't know, where they can find you and what you guys are all about. Seahawks Martin, you started first.
Alrighty. Okay. So my channel obviously is called Seahawks Martin. You guys probably all know that by now. If you guys don't, then welcome to Earth. And so basically all I do is talk Seahawks football, give you guys updates, give you my takes. New show every week. 2 episodes already through. Hopefully we can make another 3rd episode. And we'll see. You guys might have your wish of having Noah, Calvin, or Norb on the show eventually. We'll see. But yeah, that's pretty much all I do. Sometimes I make basketball videos, sometimes I make comedy videos, just Seahawk comedy. Like the levels of Seahawk fans, for example, I've done that. But yeah, that's pretty much all I do. If you guys like that, then subscribe. And I guess you can like my videos too. But don't forget to subscribe to Noah, Calvin, and Norb first before you subscribe to mine.
Or just do all four of us at the same time. You don't have to do it in any particular order. Just sub us up.
4 different laptops.
Noah, go for it, man. Tell them what's up.
So I post daily videos on YouTube. My boy Cal posts every single week. We do collaborations together. We call them Squab and Steez or Steez and Squab, but like the short version is officially #Squeezy. So #Squeezy, Squabo, and Steezy. And so we post YouTube videos all the time, talking sports, NFL and NBA. We also do a show every single week from 10 to 1 on Saturdays. You can listen live on the KGRG app. We talk sports. It's called The Boelt. And then if you missed the live show, you can always listen to the podcast. We podcast it up every single week on SoundCloud. The link is in the description below.
Could I just say that Weezy is so much better than Joe Buck and Troy Aikman?
Yeah.
Appreciate you.
Nick LeBeau in the super chat says, trivia was so fun. Hope you do it again really soon. Go Hawks. Yeah, it is fun. And I have to say, I got to thank Cal and Noah. You guys are the ones who actually inspired me to do that, because you guys do your own kind of trivia thing, different, on your show, and it made me think of doing it myself. So give credit where credit is due to you guys for inspiring that idea, and it seems to be taking off. So I appreciate that. So Cal, we can't go without letting you get a word in here. Tell them about your channel.
I appreciate that. So as always, it's always a pleasure being on the show, Norb. So I want to show all the love in the world. Everybody follow my mans, get him to 40K subs. And then don't forget to show us some love. Noah and I, we're aspiring sports analysts. Just trying to make it out there. As he said, he posts daily videos. I post weekly videos. You can find us in the links down below. You can find me at Steezy A. Smith. You can find Noah at DJ Squabo, DJ Squabo. And don't forget our little bro, Seahawks Martin, little man doing it. I don't know if there's anyone else his age doing what he's doing. And so y'all show him some love, show him some support, and you guys gonna be in for a ride. So all those links will be in the description, and yeah.
I got to say, you bring that up, Martin doing his thing at the young, tender age of 12, which still blows my mind. Because I was just going through some old VHS tapes, and they date back to when I was about your age, actually younger. Like I think I was 10 when I first started making videos. And I was watching myself going, man, I was a stupid, dumb kid. At 12 years old, I was making just ridiculous things. I see what you're doing with the YouTube and your sports analysis, and I'm thinking, man, I wasn't even close to doing what you're doing. And so, more power to you, man. At some point, you're going to be like a future, politician, world leader sometime. I'll be interested to see where you go.
I think I'll pass on that.
What? Come on, man. The sky's the limit. Yeah, just keep your mind open to possibilities. You're only 12. We got to make this world a better place, and the children are our future. You're our future, Martin.
I kind of want to be a sports analyst, though. So.
Okay.
Or maybe one of those dudes at the sports desk, so that you get like that awesome Seahawks access where you're like right next to the players or something. I don't know. We'll see.
Seahawks Martin in the morning.
Martin in the morning. Martin in the morning. I like the sound of that. That's cool. Oh yeah, and the day we have, we've got our Adam Levine, who I think Adam is a mix of Asian and something else.
I think it's Aaron Levine.
Sorry, Adam Levine. Aaron Levine. Yeah, Adam Levine.
I was like, what?
We will love. Adam, not Adam. Aaron Levine. Sorry, I had the wrong Levine. Aaron Levine is our local sports guy on Q13 Fox, who's just the Seahawks Fox affiliate. And I believe he's a mix of, he's got a little bit of Asian in him and Caucasian, I think. So, maybe in the future there's going to be the all-Asian Martin in the Morning sports show. You never know. But Anyway, we do appreciate you guys tuning in. Thanks for all of you who played in the contest today, everybody who participated in the super chat and the regular chat, and just for every one of you guys who are just watching along, playing along, and just watching us talk our Seahawks nonsense. We love doing it, and it's for you guys that we're inspired to do so. So, again, hit these guys up, follow their stuff, because these guys have great stuff going. And it's a pleasure and honor that I get to work with gentlemen like you. So thanks for being on here, you guys.
Yeah, nice to meet you.
Thanks, Noel.
All right. You guys have a good week. Again, we did not talk about the controversy that has been what has happened over the past several days. I'm going to address that in a separate video. But in the meantime, everybody stay safe, take care of each other, and, just love and peace, man. That's what we need in this world. All right. Take care, you guys. And go Hawks.